Welcome everyone to another episode of Mario Kart Tour. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's episode, we'll be unpacking the Sunshine Tour. This could be the last retro course coming to Mario Kart Tour, an extensive library containing hundreds of tracks. It will be the last debuting retro at least until the 4th anniversary, at which point it's unclear what the content will look like in the 5th year of the game. But what a way to go out with a bang. Quite literally, we have a Lakeside Park, and according to the preview, it's going to have a day and night cycle revolving around the eruption of the volcano. I'm so excited to check this one out. If you are too, please show your support with the channel by leaving a like on this video and subscribing. Thank you so much for that support. All right, let's get into the download here. While we still have our Cowgirl Pauline on the screen, I'll just take a moment and say the pipe tour was extraordinary, particularly because one of the essential members of the community, Elle, leader of Ordinary Racers, went with her debut ACR run. The whole community rallied around her, and her efforts were inspiring. So much excitement unfolded there, and quite a lot of detail had to go into that. It was inspiring alone when she had crossed the first raise in the ACR projections, and then it went ahead and did that twice more, pushed her to all new limits. But that's what we're all about here, folks, is discovering what each and every one of us is made out of. And I tell you what, beyond just her ability to perform in the game when it was required, is just how wonderful everyone was in supporting her in that journey. It really highlights the best aspects of this game and the community. As we say goodbye to Piranha Plant Pipeline, one of the thrilling nitro courses that they debuted in the game, we will welcome in now a summertime celebration of sorts with the Sunshine Tour. Daisy Cruiser makes its long-awaited return, as will Sydney Sprint 1. We see Kangaroo Yoshi in the background there. All right, let's go. Oh, Funky Kong is available in the Summertime Challenge. Well, that's going to be coins on my account, but for all the fellow Funky Kong fans out there, I certainly am thrilled that you're all getting a level up on that. All right, let's see. Start a new tour. So these are all just very basic challenges for which we can clear out. All right, let's go into it here. So Sydney Sprint R and Lakeside Park. Interesting that the debuting course is in the bottom left there, Daisy Cruiser in the top left. But let's bring in Olaka to, oh, I love the summertime getup. Shouldn't this have been an alt, folks? Oh, it's still not too late, right? Anyway, he's bringing us good news too. What a good start. First place finish. Okay, we have a lot to talk about here because in the last video for the pipe tour reaction, I'd gone through, an extensive analysis of my loadouts, potential opponents. Really didn't see a pathway in that first week, but I presented that, 20+K run on video with all of you folks. So I had to go deep into the tank in the sandbag on the other two tracks, which we did. Absolute bare minimum potential on that to set up the most fertile ground possible. And would you look at that, folks? But it gets even better than that too. Oh, but we have Wiggler too. Wiggler joins the inventory, and look, there's no FOMO about getting this character, right? If for some reason you missed out, didn't play the tour, or just the ranked groups were not good for one reason or another, too competitive, loadouts didn't quite hit your inventory just right, Wiggler will be available again in the future. Okay, this is an original character, and I know that some of those ranked rewards have been locked behind the paywall for quite some time, but it's really in their interest to open it up for Wiggler. Think about the theme with fall time, autumn celebration, right? Maple Tree Way, there are actually Wigglers on that course, okay? So I would imagine that Wiggler would make a return, just one season away, folks, okay? So just, if you missed out, it's quite all right, okay? There's not going to be any kind of game-changing value that you're missing out on here. And of course, if Wiggler was one of your favorite characters, your most desired characters to come to this game, then surely you likely spent the resources and had a similar outcome as this. So very happy for all of you that managed to secure him. Oh yeah, we have the skull pipe too. I always forget these things are here. What do we got? Oh, the steel driver. We don't even get a level for that. We don't even get a level. All right. It's all right. We want to just talk about the runs, right? That's what it's all about. So let's go. Okay, look at that. We had a nice little bake masterclass going on there, right? Just under 200 points cleared. And I know nobody filled out your bingo card for the KG edition for the Pipe Tour because no one had Diddy Kong's Grand Adventure checked off on one of their squares here. Would you look at that, folks? So this is the setup then. I had looked at that light blue pit crew toad in the previous reaction video, saying that I could, take it to level 6, so on and so forth. I mean, even beyond level 6, but that was the point, that I would be comfortable taking an item cold turkey from level 1 up to in that situation, being that super tickets are somewhat expendable, but still quite valuable. The Daisy Cruiser, other tracks like that commonly have supers, so anytime you can save that value, you definitely want to do so. And we see we're largely carried here by Donkey Kong Jr., who I did end up quad capping, and this was completely unnecessary. I didn't have to quad cap that. And also you might notice the Pauline Cowgirl, which I purchased in honor of Elle and her remarkable attempt in the ACR. But the quad cap wasn't necessary, but I was perceiving that joint buff between DK Jr. SNES and DK Gladiator as a passing of the torch moment. I've referenced that terminology here on the channel before, going way back in the day when Peach Explorer and Bird of Black were both buffed to the same course, and was that ever a passing of the torch moment? So maybe similar kind of thematic ideology is at play here when it comes to DK Jr. Certainly having 49 tracks of value is not going to experience many more buffs moving forward. Granted, even the available courses left are not very much moving forward, but it is DK Gladiator's time to shine, and the fact that they were overlapping one another, I said, you know what? This is the time to give DK Jr., thank him for all the service and pleasant, wonderful times that I've had, and taking him up with that quad cap there. And we got the double coin frenzy before I even finished the base points with him, so it was quite an enjoyable ride. And then from there I said, this has afforded me such a great opportunity. We have to use Diddy Kong in ranked mode, right? And that was a 50cc run too. I was doing all kinds of grinds on 50cc. It was a joy to behold. And look, this is the level of control I talk about when I say, when you study your own ecosystem. That's all the components involved, right? Your inventory, your play style, your potential. Well, put all the information together, you can have really enjoyable success doing it the way exactly like you want. And, you want to race with Diddy Kong and win Wiggler in ranked mode, then there you go. That's how you do it. Anyway, phenomenal stuff here. So let's see. An event just for summer is here. Summertime celebration. Okay, well, we love Funky Kong. So he's already maxed out on my account, though. It's the first high-end driver that was max. Not because of the value, but just because of the good fortune that I did have with Funky Kong. One of the few in that area where I was blessed on my account to have them in daily selects and a few pipe pulls here and there. Anyway, we have the Yellow Yoshi and Yellow Turbo Yoshi. We're going to check out the skill on that. I know a lot of folks would like to see another giant banana character, thinking we just had the triple bananas. We'll see what that's all about. And then in the second half of the tour, we have the Coconut one. Oh, remember when everybody wanted me to pick that one up because they thought it was Kong themed? Well, I guess that's your chance then. But we'll see what the loadouts are like, right? I'm not going to go... I don't see the connection between the Coconut one and the Kongs, but I know some of you did out there. So anyway, Gold Koopa free running is available in the second week. So look at that. The FOMO is really jacked up on the Yellow Yoshi. There They're experts at their own craft, are they not, folks? Anyway, the Sunshine Tour starts now. We have Daisy Sailor here, as well as Toadette Sailor will be in week 2, I would imagine. And look, folks, you know, these are not typically considered the meta items, right? But if you follow the anecdotes and the progress, the journeys of players out there, particularly a free-to-play player in Tennion here, who we reference quite a bit on the channel, one of the highest ranked free-to-play players in the world, certainly the highest ranked in the community, tier 96, remember? He does all his damage with these characters like Toadette Sailor and Daisy Sailor, Peach Yukata, right? So, you know, you can, these characters do have niches that exist. You just have to analyze the data to be able to describe why it is that you're seeing that is. And game balance still does exist in Mario Kart Tour. I know it's very hard to see with the Miis just running away. It's a runaway train with the Miis, right? But there is still value for your coin box drivers and your other plus skill drivers, as well as these non-plus skill drivers. It's just the merging of these groups has diminished the visibility of those niches, and also the viability of them to an extent also. But they still do exist in some small capacity, enough for you to still enjoy your game as you see fit. The Waluigi Mii racing suit is in the shop. I think we also have that Toadette Mii racing suit as well, right? So no big surprises there. We'll take a look at the new cart. The blue sub scooter. Interesting. This is a new design. I don't think this has existed before in Mario Kart Canon before, but Mini Turbo Plus. And it starts off with 10 tracks of value, and of those 10 tracks, there's 2 nitro courses. So pretty good starting value there. But look, on these commemorative items, you know, Matt Aldridge on his channel did a breakdown on that. So shout out to Matt. If you're interested in the data and the generalization of these different item groups, you want to go check out his data that he did with Flow. Commemorative items typically have that FOMO value, right? In the first like 4 tours when it's locked behind the paywall. And then once it becomes available in the Spotlight shop, as Patty has mentioned to me numerous times, then you know, the value kind of curtails from there once the FOMO is gone, right? So that's the way they've traditionally handled them. Now, obviously, there's always exceptions to everything. So for folks out there who really want to get to the bottom of it and power your gameplay to the maximum that you can see fit, recommend you collecting the raw data and explain those exceptions and discover the inner workings of Mario Kart Tour and its economy, and that's how you can really master this game. These wavy grade sails look beautiful. Blooper Plus, it's a very good skill to have on a glider. And this one starts off with some really nice value, actually 9 retro courses overall. And the gap between retro courses and nitro courses has diminished as well, but it still does exist. All right, and that is it for all of the new items. We'll just check out the Toadette Mii to see. Oh wow, quite a bit of value there on the Toadette. This is one with a lot of starting value relative to typical Miis, but it is triple mushroom, which is one of those kind of best of the rest type of skills. The floor of its scoring potential is relatively equal to the ceiling of it due to the nature of triple mushroom skill. All right, let's just go into the track since there's not much else to check out in the shops. I mean, we could just do a daily select check. All right. We see Sunshine Mario's in play, Tuxedo Mario. So they have the whole summertime theme going on here. Yeah, and the Wiggler Mii racing suit is still on display there. Oh, what a good start. Oh, this is quite the celebration, folks. This is so good. Oh, look at that, one away. Let's go. That's our girl. That is our girl. So can't get any better than that, right, folks? Oh, and they put it in week 1. Get an item from the daily sex. Well, that was the easiest challenge we've ever cleared, is it not? Oh my goodness. Great start. So this is what I was talking about before when it comes to, you know, still, those super resources do have value. So, you know, if you have your favorite driver on your account that you can just, you know, power through ranked with, then, you know, it behooves you to hold on to those super resources. We could do some damage here with Daisy. And there's also other options. Daisy Swimwear had such a powerful run there through late year 2 into year 3 in particular. But we have the Super Daisy. A couple of carts here. The Wiggler cart got the buff. We also picked up this Cream Cat Cruiser and one of those gold pipes from the Token Shop last tour, and the wonderful wings. So the loadout is much better if you go back and reference my reaction to the Ocean Tour last year. It was one of my favorite tours of the year. Absolutely phenomenal. If there's any kind of parallel to this one, I think we're in for just as much of a treat here, especially because Dixie Kong on day 1. Anyway, so the loadout here, we can work with this, right? Daisy can definitely do damage. Wow, yes. This guy I powered up in the past, and he overlaps a little bit with the Ramby runner, as we can see, you know, like with those Vanilla Lakes there. Vanilla Lake 2 in particular, I believe, is the one that I used him for in Ranked Cup. So this is phenomenal, but I mean, you also have a lot of options like Tuxedo Mario, you know, the White Yoshi as well as a bunch of Miis, and a lot of people are probably going to be in on either Astro Toad there or Sunshine Mario just as a fan favorite. But definitely that level 5 super is looking good for us. And then we have another super here. So the Blue Royale, recently just picked it up in my inventory, in fact. You can see the base points have already been worked with, and the Story Great Sale, phenomenal. So looking good. It all comes down to Lakeside Park, and we're going to do a run on that after we check out the loadouts, right? If the loadouts are very good, we're just going to go right into it. If not, we're going to look at the week 2 first to see, you know, what is the most viable pathway forward for, you know, what I want to do, what's the most enjoyable loadouts for me to spend my time playing in the game, and then the rest of the stuff is like just go on and have fun. Oh, there we go, the DK Gladiator. This is the passing of the torch, perhaps, right? Very happy to see him standing on his own, because he's got those broad shoulders and, you know, he wants to sink his feet into the ground here, right? Let's check out what else DK Gladiator picked up here. Daisy Hills RT, which is clean from Dixie Kong, so that's a tremendous buff. Koopa Troopa Beach 2, clear of the Kongs. So this is great, phenomenal in fact. 0 Kong overlap. This is just the way it needs to go for a fan base that went 3.5 years without new driver content in Mario Kart Tour. It's like that. They did us kind of dirty on at second tour value with the 60% overlap. So in its first month, it only introduced 1% additional coverage to the Kongs overall. So maybe this is a little bit of balancing in that regard. Then picked up the Sydney Sprint, which, you know, this is quite all right. It's going to pick up a course or two like that. And that just makes it more fun to race on those on this side. But definitely love to see what it picked up there. So good. All right. Now, let's see what else we have in the loadout here. So we have not much going on in the way of carts. You have that pay-locked one that we already looked at, and then you have the regular Eagle cart and a bunch of stuff there. So, I mean, this might be, I think we're not going to make an investment on the carts in this particular situation. I'm going to definitely race with the barrel train here. I think, but I'll go through the numbers just for posterity, because it's always good to analyze this. There's very few situations out there where you're going to see somebody contemplating what's the difference between mid-shelf or like bottom shelf options, right? So if we take a look at the Apple Cart, you're not going to get bonus points boost for anything below that top shelf. So you're going to deal with the base points, so that's 400. So it's winning in base points, right? It has 70 more base points than the other 2 options, which could be mitigated through cap tickets, right? And cap tickets are dime a dozen for normals and supers, so we could definitely close the gap in that regard. But what we're ultimately, well, we just spoiled that we don't have a glider, but that's okay. What we're looking at here is the X to 1.1 to all bonus points earned. That's for every rocket start, mini turbo, jump boost, coin collected, any action that you do in the race. is times 1.1, and that's also times the 1.5 bonus points as part of being in the middle shelf. Now we go over to here and we'll see this one is going to be x 1.15. So that alone is not enough to account for a difference in the 70 points. It's going to be negligible at best because you're going to be multiplying an additional x 0.05 to all the actions in your run, which, it's going to be, maybe 150 plus. We don't know what this track looks like yet. That's just an estimate, especially with the boomerang skill, right? But no need to go all out on boomboxing if that's not your cup of tea. But what we can do is we can play with the base points and cap it up a bit and bring it down in that way. And then we take a look at this. It's going to be in the same ballpark. So there's absolutely no reason to invest into the Bullet Blaster unless you're more secure on your normal tickets for cap, and then you could raise it to 408. But definitely the Bullet Train is what we're going to go with because it has the most potential. And then we do have this Wario wing here in the middle shelf. Interesting. I'll have to check the coverage with the gliders. Was definitely kind of hoping to see the Autumn Leaves in the mix, but it looks like it's not. The Autumn Leaves is one that has a tremendous amount of concourses covered. So let's go into this one. Looking like very Double Dash kind of style, right? With the Wario wing, mustache, and the barrel train. All right, let's see what this Lakeside Park is all about. Love the aesthetics of this. Oh my goodness. Look at the ash from that volcano, right? Oh, we have a coin boxer in first place. Wouldn't that be something to get a boom box on the very first run? Oh, we get a blooper frenzy. That's quite good, actually. This is going to be fun for sure. Okay, second box comes up quite quick. So it's definitely going to be a 3-box track. So it already passes the test. What do you look at that? Oh, look at that. The coin box on the second one. Looks like we picked up about 7 actions on that. Ooh, I love the change in elevation. Look, it's already switching over. Oh, another coin box. Look at this. Maybe we should get out of the front running position, but I'm just soaking in all the sights. Look at this. It's still gradually changing. Oh my God, look at the ash. That is so wicked. Oh my goodness. Look at the boulders falling. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. If this is the last retro that they ever do, I mean, this just shows all the love and dedication that the team, has put into the game. And, certainly their efforts need to be acknowledged when they put together content that looks just like this. What a pleasure to race through that. Did feel a bit like a short loop, but they gave us a full 3 item boxes on that. So that's 7 opportunities in full to trigger a frenzy. Should be pretty decent for the action counts on that. That's a 13K run to start things off on, and DK, he might be ready for an upgrade if necessary, but we'll check out to see where the group is at, right? Has anyone done a run yet? Oh, we have somebody at 46K already. They're jumping out. They don't have top shelf, but they have quite strong loadouts on the other tracks. Then we save those super tickets, right? And look at this, folks. When I say that they pair you with people who have similar inventory, would you look at that? I think I counted that more than half of my group in the last tour, both weeks, had 1, if not some of them had 3 Kongs on their favorite list. And it's like every time I click, there's one there. And I'm telling you, just make these observations for yourself before you kind of like pigeonhole yourself into what you're doing on your account, because you can have so much fun with this and still be competitive. Like, just because you're playing casually doesn't make it not competitive at all, okay? You can take this seriously and have fun doing it your own way, okay? It's just, putting the merit of your own interest on a platform, okay? That's all it's about, okay? And you're worth it. You are absolutely worth doing that for, if that's your choice. Anyway, we didn't check out the high score on their account and whatnot. So what I normally do is tier 55. So that is 2 tiers of the current, but that doesn't mean that they're currently at tier 55. That's their peak. 36K is pretty decent for that mark, higher than we would typically see, and that's coming off of the first place finish from the last tour. Some decent loadouts, definitely. I mean, that Starry Great Sale, but just to think about it, I really probably don't need to do too many upgrades. This could potentially be. I'll go through and check out the rest of the group on my own. Oh wow, look at this. This is like a Turtle Dude fan here. Look at that. They got the Koopa and the Dry Bones. Actually, they have a lot of the normals at level 8, so that's quite impressive, actually. Look at that. They have Diddy. Look at that. So good. It brings joy to my heart to see other people take a fascination with a character that you love so much, right? Really good stuff. They're big investments. Not too many. They bring a lot of drivers to level 3. Oh, look at the Dixie Kong at level 5. This is my kind of player here. This is my kind of player. I'm telling you. Look at that similar inventory rate. Level 3 Gold King Bob-omb. That's the same level as mine, right? Not too many Miis. The levels are pretty low on those, except for the non-plus one. That's the one that they're investing into. Look at that. They're going for the ranked stuff and not going for those the high scores and the ACR and stuff. So that is all on par with what you'd expect. Go through and replicate that. You can also check out their badges to reference, how long they've been a player for and whatnot. That's if you really, really want to, pinpoint the skill of the other driver, the other opponents in your group. Anyway, let us check out. Ooh, I never raced on Daisy Circuit T, so that's going to be interesting. We have Lakeside T and Daisy Cruiser RT. I think that's going to be a new course. So we might do some 50cc runs here for fun. Oh, I think that would be a lot of. Look at that. The Wiggler picked up. So let's see the value that Wiggler received here. Got the Lakeside RT as well as the Daisy Circuit T. So Lakeside RT is not going to be in ranked, and then Cheap Island RT and Koopa Troopa Beach 2 RT. So 4 retro courses, one of which is a ranked appearance. So quite a good start, at least directly from Wiggler's perspective. Everybody's unique inventory is going to change. Like, is this good? Is this not good? And look. These conversations are not one size fits all. It's extremely nuanced and individualized, personalized to your own experience. So you should go through your own analysis to make those determinations. And I'm just here to kind of lead you through the thought process and how to make accurate calls so that your gameplay experience is the most rewarding and knowledgeable that it could possibly be. But for Daisy, we're going to go with our Kong princess here with Dixie Kong. We picked her up in the shop, so we got to give her the love, right? Oh, I kind of want to go, we're going to go bottom shelf. We're going to go all standard pipe frame and super glider, right? We're going to go at 50cc and take in the sights. Oh, look at Dixie Kong. They're so good. Look, they put a DK Jr. in there too. All right. Time to see what this is all about. Okay, well, it's the 2D characters are throwing me off a little bit there for some reason. I don't know why. But beautiful sunset here. Oh wow, that's a bit of misdirection there. Okay. Looks like tokens are from hits, if I'm not mistaken, based on that. Haven't seen any on the track just yet, so believe that to be the case. Alright, look at this. Going through the tunnel, hit the cones there. What a pleasant evening race here. This is what it's all about, When I sit down and play this game, at the end of the day, this is just the kind of feeling I like to have and replicate. And so good by the calm waters in the ocean. Can we go up here? Yes, we can. Okay, that's pretty cool. Go back down there. That's phenomenal. Where would be a good spot to drop the triplets? Let's say right there, perhaps. Go to the right this time. Oh, that was wild. It's almost like sometimes when you come off of one of those half pipes, right, and it sends you backwards. That was just the same type of thing that we experienced there. Wow, look at that. You can see the seagulls down there. You really just take everything in going on 50cc. It's really just so pleasant. So I guess you have to start on the track to be over there. This time we're going to try to stay on it the whole way through. It's probably fun multiplayer line to take that all the way down. That's quite a nice track with our Dixie Kong there. Just shy of 10K, right where we want to ballpark it, right? You know, the action count on that kind of a run, you know, right around 80, perfect. Okay. And very fair to get the grand stars. Now, let's go ahead and do the Daisy Cruiser RT. Okay, so who do we want to go with? Well, you know what? Diddy looks so excited to be on the cruise, so let's go with Diddy Kong on this one, all right? Put him in the standard inventory as well. Oh, let's see what this one's all about. Daisy Cruiser is just so much nostalgia for me, not just from Double Dash, which was my favorite entry in the series. Talked about how, you know, Diddy Kong Racing meant so much to me growing up. You know, I also played a lot of Mario Kart 64 too, but when Double Dash came around, and that's when Rare, you know, was bought out by Microsoft. So, you know, the plans like Donkey Kong Racing that Rare was working on had fallen through. And Nintendo showed the love to Diddy Kong, brought him into the main character roster there, and it felt like a meeting of the great racing characters of the previous generation, having, you know, Mario and Diddy Kong together like that. So good. Here, the geysers look phenomenal. Let's take a little dip there. Oh, and then you go right into the swimming pool. Diddy's taking a dip on that one. All right. See, that's what they prevent you from going to the left. I guess, is there a downstairs section here? I didn't really look on the first time. And normally it would be right there, so I don't see a way to go downstairs, being that this is a reverse trick track. Yeah, the arrangement of this is pretty basic, I would say. Thinking about the R variant, you had this the glider section right here, but we have ramps with geysers and jumpers, so all in all, it is more action as well. Yeah, you can't even go to the left here. So as far as RTs is concerned, this one doesn't seem to really do much special. You know, it really kind of confines the layout of Daisy Cruiser. So this one, you know, it's very pleasant to race on this course, but I don't think it's really presenting much that we haven't seen. Doesn't really amplify the best effects of it necessarily, but it's still a nice experience. Alrighty. Now let's see what they gave us for, oh, okay, you know what, let's go with today's challenge, and we'll see if that gets us the pipe to launch. Drop a few shout outs along the way, leading up to that final pipe. Sound good with you all? Oh, it's still on 50cc, I forgot to change it, that's right. Today's challenge takes on the last of the formats that you raced in. Well, this will be a nice, pleasant stroll through the lagoon. One of my favorite tracks, just, you know, the Kong coverage on this is so iconic. And, you know, I know it's a course that, you know, a lot of people don't like to race with the clams, right? Because that sort of thing can happen. But it is a lot of fun to play in multiplayer, right? Because you can get over to here with a Shroom or a Mega, take the dash panel, the shorter line there, and there's other little mini cuts as well. So quite a fun track to play. It's aesthetically gorgeous, look at that, right? Phenomenal to see. And And the Mario Kart 7 courses have ported so well over to, Mario Kart Tour, to the point where, some folks I remember back in the day used to call Mario Kart Tour 7.5 back when it launched, because a vast majority of the representation in courses was from Mario Kart 7. Now, I mean, that's completely diversified. Look at all the GameCube love, right? We were always talking like, where's the GameCube love? And year 3 and year 4 were definitely good to Nintendo GameCube. Nintendo Wii representation has been very strong from year 2 onwards, right? With the Maple Treeway DK Summit, absolute fan favorites, Mushroom Gorge, right? Mario Kart Tour, it's easy to reminisce because of, Lakeside Park potentially being the last retro course. And if it is, what a gorgeous way to end the retro course era when debuting new content. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be any more retro courses. They can add more course IDs. That's just through like the 4th anniversary, basically, right? There's going to be more Nitro representation, and then we'll see. We'll see what year 5 of Mario Kart Tour brings us. But appears that we're stuck here. Is this loading the pipe lock or not? They're making us sweat this one out. We need the Jeopardy music for this one. Oh! Finally. And with the magic of editing, you won't know that took so long. Okay, the White Royale. Interesting, that's a new cart and it's a super. And we were just talking about how I recently picked up the Blue Royale. Okay, that's fascinating. Now let us go and do the shout outs now. Celebrate this wonderful community that keeps the game so joyful and vibrant. All right. So Patty here, wow, has already done runs up to 56K. And let's talk about his Gold Knight Luigi. When I go over to the Discord server, he will likely be happy that it picked up a ranked buff, right? Not on a new course, so you'll have to check the overlap out on that one. But it was an investment he made to hold tier at tier 67, got 100% on the spreadsheet. In the final 2 hours, he realized that he could possibly get it done, and he did. It's a nice stream and conversation to take part in, so well done. 2 tier goals for Patty. One, to reach tier 80, and then the other more lofty. Will take some time to do that, and very fascinating to go along with him on his journey there. All right, Mario Champ, he's back in the winner's circle, right? Back up to tier 90. I know he went through a rough patch there. Hope to see more good things to come from him there. Ace Condor, we just talked about the Wiggler, right? Giant Banana Gang. I know he's more of a Shy Guy fan. Look at that. He's eating good on the bottom there with Explorer Shy Guy, right? Lucky 7 grind coming in good for him. Let's give a shout out to Alpha. He was in L's corner, especially, with easing the mentality of boomboxing, right? And, L didn't really want to do much boomboxing on her run, which is difficult to say when you have Pauline Cowgirl as your lovely quad cap driver for that given tour. We'll get more into that when we reach L. And then we have Antenion here. We can see he tiered down to 95, but he's going to be eating good this tour, no doubt about it, with his beloveds back in play, right? And now we get to L. What could we really say about what she did? I said at the start it was inspirational when she overcame the first increase in the projections, and then she had to do it 2 more times. And we weren't going to let her fail herself, because we knew that she had all the ability in her to get the job done. And it was amazing to watch her experience her own growth in the game and challenge herself as such. And part of that is because she, was a rodeo racer, and seeing the theme of Pauline Cowgirl, it was the absolute best opportunity for her to make the attempt at a badge that had particular meaning to her. But the savings wasn't quite where she would like it. In Elle's guide to ACR, which I'm sure that she'll pass down to the community at some point, she would strongly recommend someone who can get like 80% on the spreadsheet overall to save 25 high-end tickets in driver's cart and glider. She didn't have that. She only had 25 in driver. She was short of that in cart and glider. That was part of the shortcoming with, she needed to go over 80%, which she did. She got to 83.7%. And it just goes to show you that you can constantly prove that you have more in you than you ever thought possible. And like, her whole life experience was overcoming tough odds, and she didn't need to prove herself to anybody, right? Like, we know what she's all about, but it's just to see her reify that character trait is just, it's beautiful to see, along with all the support that she had along the way there. And there's the update, and her high score, which was really heartbreaking, was a boombox, a frenzy run, second place finish. She got Mario Karted, right? She just could not catch up. So that's remarkable, right? Just to imagine, several thousand, at least, more than 1,000 more points in that situation there. But just the joy that brought, and really seeing everybody galvanized around that was one of the highlight moments in all of Mario Kart Tour, really in my days since starting, and highlights all of the best aspects of the community. Here we have Poncho. He's a regular on the streams as a viewer, and I mean, he's done phenomenally. He's already tier 99, and he's one of these players, like I've referenced in the past, like Arthur, who gold pass only, right? Like, doesn't buy the packs or the premiums or any of that stuff, and just does the damage through wise investment, conservative gameplay, patience, and racing skill, right? Just a combination of all those things. So, they're already halfway to the 30 for, they've gotten first place every single time. And, their fan interests are very well diversified. They're definitely could get to work on the Diddy Kong. I'd see a Diddy Kong, but look at that. Props on the Funky and the Dixie Kong there. DK Gladiator could use some more. Don't even have Junior, but definitely a Wario fan. Wario could use the love. Let's just say that now, right? There's only a few driver IDs left, right, to fill, and these have been likely created, a minimum of 6 months in advance, but very likely, years. There's a hypothesis that we're in the midst of testing, but very fascinating to see the development timeline parallel to that of the booster course pass, and some of the implications of how long they've had this content for and what that means for the future and the long-term plans for Mario Kart Tour, right? Several years ago I had mentioned the prospect of a 5-year plan for Mario Kart Tour, and that's still up for debate. There's no clear end in sight in that regard. I know that's widely speculated about within the community, and it's not one, I like to focus on the here and now with that kind of thing, right? But obviously you have to think about the long term when you think about what you're investing in the current as well. Wario could afford to see the left because it's been even slightly longer for him than with the Kongs, and that's not the best way to handle these character interests that are out there. So we stand in solidarity with the fans of these other items and characters that really could use the love there. All right, we'll just give a shout out to Darkness. Awesome presence on the streams, right? Just like he gets the irony of Mario Kart Tour, right? It's like maybe he carries intern Forrest lunch into work or something. Like he knows. He just knows. It's like he's a savant of that part of the game. Anyway, a lot of fun there. All right, that's it. Let's go into that final pipe pull and see what it's all about here. Maybe we'll get off the normal streak today, right? And we have another normal. Okay, they haven't all been normals, just the ones on video. So this is like a meme at this point, right? Okay, but that's a good way to finish this tour off. Lovely tour, retros, going out with a bang here with Lakeside Park. Would love to see more retros come to Mario Kart Tour. You know, there are still assets where they could bring in more, but this is what's on the slate for the given, and what a beautiful way to conclude all that. So thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and be sure to share your experiences with me in the comments and on Discord. I wish you all the best, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.